Hello everyone, my name is Damru Kunjam. So now I am going to explain about my grid page and explain how I style it using the CSS. First, this is my UI of HTML code, only HTML version. It has an introduction and table showing my course, where I showing my course names, grade and credits. Without chess it looks very basics. So now this is my final style version. I added colors, spacing, borders, shadows and over effects. So of this UI's code is this is HTML code, and this one is CSS code. For this page also, first of all I use universal selector, set where I set margin padding to 0, I use 0, and also I use box sizing, border box, to control the spacing and sizing. Next is body, where I styled the body with a light blue background. I also use flex box with column direction, and in main I styled the body with a light blue. No, and okay. In main section, for the main section I used flex one. This helps the content take the available space and keeps the footer at the bottom. And next is adding. First, for the main heading, I used black background and white text and a monospace font and a 40 pixel font size. I also used text box to center it. Here the grades little is large, centered and easy to see. And next is our navigation section. For the navigation bar I used text box to keep the links in one row. I centered centered them and added a 20 pixel gap in each other, between each other. For the links I used a black background and white text and padding, fixed with width and rounded corners. Also I removed the underlines. And next is our effect. For our effect I used the pseudo classes part. I added over effect to the navigation scenes. When I move the mouse over a link, its color change. It become slightly bigger and so bold and a shadow squares. And next is introductions. So for the introduction box I use fixed width and height and auto margin and border and rounded corners, and also padding, background colors and box shadows. Here the introduction is inside a clean and readable box. So next is table, grid table. So the main part of this page is the my grades table. This I used fixed width and height and contour and centered the table with auto margin. I also added a border box shadow and border collapse to make the table look clean. As you can see, the table is straightened and below organized like that. You can see, and in table heading, so now we can, so in table heading for I used dark background, large text and certain element, and this helps separate in the headings form the data like you again you can see that some is dark and in table data, so in table data for the table data I certain the text. This keep the course name, grade and credits for properly aligned, and for and alternate rows colors. I also used uh, table row. I used one pseudo classes part to give the event row because I here write even. That's why rows are different background colors showing. This makes the rows easier to separate and read. Here we can see the alternate alternate alternates colors have. And next part is table row over. So so when I move the mouse over a row, the background color change and shadows uh, appears, and like that you can see like that type. And last is footer section. Finally I styled the footer with a black background color and white text and centered text. I add padding also. In last there also I include media query. And media query I added media query is for smaller screen smaller than 800 pixel. The navigations change to a column and the table can scroll horizontally if needed. So that's it guys. Thank you for the watching this video.